around us. So changes we see in our surroundings involve one or more than one substances. So what changes we come across in our surroundings? For example, if your mother asks you to suppose if your mother asks you to prepare lemon juice, you mix sugar in the water and lemon. The sugar dissolves and changes its state, right? You can no longer see the sugar crystal. Same way, when your teacher writes on the chalk, when your teacher writes on the blackboard with the help of the chalk turns into chalk powder, and some amount of the chalk powder falls into her hair also. Then that is also a change. Then when you are dissolving sugar in water, the sugar will not come back to its original state, right? So that is a change which involves one or more than one substances. Then setting curd from the milk. You know, one drop of curd is added to the milk for the milk to become curd by next morning. Why? Because there is the presence of lactobacillus bacteria in that multiply overnight and turn the milk into curd. So that is also a change. Can we get back milk from the curd again? No. Then souring of the milk. Sometimes the milk is broken to form cottage cheese or paneer. Then can we get back milk from that? No. Then rubber band is stretched. You children play a lot of rubber band games by stretching them. But the rubber band gains back its original shape after stretching. Then pieces of paper. If you take a big paper and cut it into small pieces, can you get back the original big size paper? No. Then chalk dust from the blackboard. If you collect all the chalk dust and mix it in the water and try to form a chalk, will it become a chalk? No. Then melting of ice. When you melt ice, it becomes water, and then if you take that water and if you freeze it again it becomes ice. So melting of ice can be reversed. These all things are irreversible, but melting of ice can be reversed. The ice can be turned into water and the water can be turned into ice. Then boiling of water. When you boil water, what happens? You see small droplets of steam, right? When water is boiling, if you cover the water with a plate, you see small droplets of steam around it. So that is the boiling of water is a change. The water boils at 100 degrees centigrade. That is called the boiling point and turns into steam. Then can the steam again form into water? Sometimes it forms, yes, because in the reverse, the water is evaporated, becomes water vapor and goes back into the sky. And from the sky it comes back to the earth in the form of rain. In that way, the water comes back to the earth. Then heating of the hacksaw blade. The blade which the woodcutters use to cut the wood. Take that blade with the help of a chapati tong. You know tongs, no? We heat chapati over the flame with that tongs. So with that tongs, hold this hacksaw blade and put it over a flame. Be careful, do not burn your hand. So when you heat that hacksaw blade over a flame, it is made up of iron, right? The hacksaw blade is made up of iron. It is usually black in color. When you heat it, it turns reddish or orangish in color. When it is heated to 100 degrees centigrade, you see there is change in color. It looks red, burning hot, the iron. But when you switch off the flame and you put it aside, when it cools down, it again regains back its black color. So these are some of the changes which we observe in the surroundings. And almost every object in our surroundings undergoes some changes. Like potato, you make curry out of the potato, you make french fries out of potato. Can you get back the potato? No. It has undergone some change. Then you make burgers from the bread. From the all-purpose flour or maida, you make bread. From the bread, you make burgers, you make pizzas. But again, those pizzas cannot form bread back, right? After baking process, can we get back that dough? No. So all these changes we observe in our surroundings. So usually the changes can be broadly classified into two types: physical change and chemical change. All the changes we see around us are broadly classified into two types: physical change and chemical change. So what is physical change? In physical change, the size, shape, color and state of a substance changes. So size, shape, color and state of a substance are known as the physical properties of any substance. So what is a physical change? The size, shape, color and state of any substance is known as the physical property of that substance. So if a change in these physical properties takes place in any substance, object or a matter or a material, then that change is known as physical change. So any object which undergoes change in its physical property like color, size, shape and state, those type of changes are known as physical changes. And in these physical changes, no new substance will be formed. That is the important point you have to remember. So this is about physical change. What are the examples of physical change? Examples of physical change are melting of the ice. You can melt the ice, then it forms water. Then if you freeze the water again, it becomes ice. So there is nothing new substance form in it. Then boiling of water. Then what are some more physical changes you see in your surroundings? Pieces of paper. When you cut pieces of paper, you don't get back the original paper, but still the change the paper is undergoing is size, shape and color, but no new substance is being formed. The paper is undergoing some kind of change when you are cutting it into pieces, but no new substance is being formed when that paper undergoes some change. Then stretching of the rubber band is also a physical change. It regains back that shape after the stretching of it. Then when you cut pieces of paper, then also it is a physical change. Then chalk dust from the blackboard, no new substance is forming, but still the chalk piece is undergoing some kind of change. So this is all about physical change. Let's move on to the chemical change now. Moving on to the chemical changes. Chemical changes are changes in which one or more new substances form. In physical changes, no new substances form. In chemical changes, one or new substances form. So changes in which new substances formed are known as chemical changes. These chemical changes can be also called as chemical reactions. So all new substances formed are a result of chemical change. All the changes around us, all the new substances formed around us are the results of those chemical changes. And every new material discovered is also a result of a chemical change only. Lot of study has been done on the results of those chemical changes and new materials will be discovered. So in addition to the new substance formed, some other things are also followed along with the formation of a new substance in a chemical change. So naturally a new substance will be formed in a chemical change. Along with the new substance formed, some other things also follow those new substances. So what are those things that follow this change? Some amount of heat or light may be evolved or absorbed during this change. Either some heat will be given off or some heat will be absorbed, or light also. Then sound may be produced during this change. Then a new gas may be formed or evolved during the chemical change. Then a color change may be observed during a chemical change. Then a change in the smell or a new smell may be produced in this chemical change. So along with the new substance formed, these 5 changes may occur followed by a chemical change. So taking some examples, extracting iron from the iron ore. This is a metallic reaction. It undergoes a lot of chemical changes. New substances will be formed, heat will be evolved, color change, smell change will be there. Then a new medicine production. You know, lot of medicines come in our market, right? Lots of medicine production is going on. Lot of new tablets we get every day in our market. Whenever we go to doctor, they prescribe us some types of new medicines every time. So how these medicines are made? They are made in the chemical laboratories. How? With the help of few chemicals. So there are lots of chemical reactions taking place for the formation of this medicine. So this is a chemical change. Then manufacturing of plastics and detergents. The plastics, the detergents, the shampoos we use daily in our life, all these are a result of the chemical changes only. Then burning of wood, coal and leaves, all these are chemical changes. When we burn wood, it gives rise to coal or ashes. When we burn coal, it becomes powder, ash. When we burn leaves, it also turns into blackish powder. Then what happens? There will be change, new type of smell we will see after burning these, new type of color we will see, gas will be evolved. So all these are chemical changes. Then explosion of fireworks. When there are explosion of the crackers in Diwali or any function or any occasion, when we burn fireworks, along with the change we hear sound also. So the chemical changes will be accompanied by sound, light and some new type of gas also and smell also. Then foul smell of the spoiled food. Suppose if we cook rice and keep and we do not use it for 2 or 3 days, then definitely the rice will get spoiled and foul smell will be coming. So rice will undergo some type of chemical change. Along with that, a bad smell will be evolved. So that is a chemical change. Then brown coloring of a slice of an apple or a potato or a brinjal. You cut an apple, keep it outside in the air. You cut a potato slice or a brinjal slice, keep it outside in the air, leave it like that for some time. You see those slices turn slowly brownish in color. So there is a color change as well as a chemical change. Then rusting of an iron or a blade. The blades which your fathers may use for shaving purpose, those blades and the what we can say, and the tawas which we use, the pans for making chapatis, sometimes due to the presence of water or due to not using it over a long time, you see a lot of brownish layer deposit on it, that is called rust. So on the iron substances you see rust, then you see rusting of the iron, rusting of the blades which we are using for shaving purpose. Then digestion of the food. Food we eat, the food we eat is in a one form, raw material form, but as it goes into the stomach, small intestine, large intestine, then the undigested food, so all this food also undergoes a lot of chemical change, right? So we can say digestion of food is also a chemical change. Then breaking down of the ozone layer. What is the ozone layer? Ozone layer is a layer of it is a protective layer present above the earth. Ozone is a protective layer which is present above the earth. So it protects us from the harmful UV radiations of the sun. UV radiations means ultraviolet radiations. So it protects the earth's surface. It forms as a covering over the earth's surface and protects it from the harmful ultraviolet radiations of the sun. So the ultraviolet radiations reaching to the surface of the earth from the sun, the ozone layer stops it and it converts into molecules of oxygen. Then only it reaches the earth. So that breaking down of ozone layer, it breaks down the harmful UV rays into oxygen molecules. So that process is also known as the ozone chemical change. Then we can say that photosynthetic activity done by the plants. Can we say, is that also a chemical change? Yes, definitely we can say. The sunlight, the water, soil, everything convert and form into a carbohydrate or a starch needed by the plant for growth, reproduction, metabolic activities, everything. So all these are chemical changes. Now in detail we will learn about some experiments involving chemical changes.